came here in 1999 at the beginning of Nigeria's Fourth Republic, and he's been posted in and out since then, and he's now concluding his service at this important part of our democratic journey. And we just thought that we should openly celebrate Michel, who has been a keen supporter of the WSCIJ. The Netherlands Embassy has supported the Wole Soyinka Centre for Investigative Journalism since 2007. Consistently, yes, please give a round of applause. For a period of 5 years, the Netherlands Embassy consistently supported the Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. Every year for 5 years, they showed up for us. Yes, and for the Civic Space Guard program, the last 2 reports were supported by the Netherlands Embassy. So I have a few questions for you. First, to welcome you. Thank you for doing this. We're doing this now because Michel has another event at 12:30 on the Highland, and he will need to run immediately after now. But we just had to honor him. So, your first posting in Nigeria was 1999, and at that time we just returned to democracy after decades of military rule. You have now witnessed almost the entire democratic journey of the Fourth Republic, from close quarters. Looking back to those 27 years, where have you seen Nigeria make its greatest progress, and where do you believe its greatest opportunities lie?
Let me tell you, when I arrived as a junior diplomat in Lagos in January of 1999, the atmosphere in Lagos was quite depressing, basically, especially for a newcomer. There would be military checkpoints on the bridges. You still have these sandbags, machine guns everywhere. There would be, this was in the aftermath of Abacha's regime, basically, which had gained a notorious reputation internationally about, the worst kind of dictatorship that you can have. So when people think about, do we have to make a choice between military or democracy, military is not the answer. We've seen that, and we continue to see that. So from that 1999 till now, many things have changed and things have improved. But indeed, as was also said in the keynote speech, if you ask the average Nigerian, he or she will always say, well, yeah, inflation, devaluation, everything went up, insecurity. So there are things in the country that have deteriorated. Bayelsa. I drove to Bayelsa in 2002, but I don't know if I would still do that now. So that's a pity for many, many reasons, because Nigerians also need to know their country and about identity. Nigerians need to know their country and need to be able to travel from the north to the south and the east and the west to see how other people are living, what other people are doing, and instead of just believing in rumors or stereotypes or misconceived ideas. So there is a lot of work to be done. But if I look at the positive side, at least the democratic process as it is in Nigeria has been able to sustain itself over the course of this time. And I think that's already a very positive thing. But within that context and within that democratic system, obviously you need voices that say, okay, but this goes too far, or we have to do something else, or the investigative side of it. And in that same period, what we also see is the increase of poverty in the country. And to be honest, I think the increase of poverty is very much linked to the illiteracy and the education challenge. Another point that was validly brought up. I mean, I would put all my eggs in one basket, namely education. Quality education, because I think that's so important. Once people are educated, they can make their own choices. They can say, I want this or that, or I want to further myself, or I want to do this in this profession, or I have this political opinion based on my knowledge. But if you tamper with the education, and if there's we all know, we've seen it, and some investigative reports have also been on the fact that schools without roof, schools with a roof but with no teacher, schools with teachers that had to be paid by the parents because they didn't get the salary by the government. So there are so many things in that education part that have an effect on democracy, on security, on well-being, on economic development. That I would say that's really the number one thing that any government should focus on.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll move now to journalism, and I think part of what I like to speak to you is that you have a lot of confidence in Nigeria, and we share that. And it's difficult to have confidence around the issues, but you are also not. You're not delusional about the issues. You know the issues, but you are also very optimistic about our Nigeria, and that's really great to watch. But on journalism, over many years, the Netherlands have invested in strengthening independent journalism, the civic space, democracy. From what you observe, what gives you confidence about the future of Nigerian journalism, and what qualities do you think that the journalists should continue to develop to remain trusted in the society?
Journalism is not easy. That's for one. In many countries it's not, but in Nigeria also. I mean, there was a time when things were a bit more predictable. If you were a journalist, you worked for a newspaper or for a television company, and you would be paid and it would work. And the media has changed. So how many newspapers are still in circulation, or what's the number of copies that are printed? It goes down. Even in my own country, if I see newspapers, editorial offices have merged, so you have like 3 newspapers, but there's actually one editor. It's just 3 different labels. So it becomes more difficult because the system in which a journalist can earn money has also changed, and that also creates some insecurity. Now, why I'm optimistic about Nigeria in general is because Nigeria will not fail, because it's not because it's too big, but basically because of its people. The people in Nigeria, whatever they say about each other and whatever people say about them, they are smart enough and intelligent enough to realize that when we stick together, there's a mutual benefit in that. And in addition, they are also very smart in setting up businesses. So if you see unicorns on the African continent, you always end up in Nigeria. Fast-growing businesses, you end up in Nigeria. But journalists are, how should I say? Journalists are discovering new ways of reporting, I think. Whether it's through online, whether it's through, I see a lot of things on Substack nowadays popping up, where people are writing. So there are different avenues other than the traditional newspapers and TV stations. And as I said in the beginning, the investigative journalism specifically is, of course, not always without dangers, because you might be uncovering things that people don't like. So a support structure behind that to basically tell journalists, this is how you can do it, this is the best way to approach it. Exchanges between on the international field between Nigerian journalists and journalists from other countries. How do you approach this? I think that builds up the quality. It builds up the quality of investigative journalism, and that's through the center actually. What I've seen in the last couple of years. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think the young generation of journalists is a bit more, not more, but it's also a very eager to show what they're doing and to sort of let's see that we are journalists, but we are investigating, and we, not to use that word again, we sort of reveal something, and I see that happening. So I'm quite optimistic about that.
Thank you. So one more major question, and then we'll take rapid questions. So I want to speak to Lagos, both Lagos and Amsterdam. They are both coastal cities living with water every day. The Netherlands has become globally respected because it learned how to live with water through the long-term planning and engineering governance. What lessons from the Dutch experience could cities like Lagos realistically adapt over the coming decades?
Well, it was raining on the islands when I came here, and I know it will take me more than an hour to go back because everything is blocked and stuck. So in infrastructure, it's not rocket science. It's a matter of water management, cleaning gutters, making sure that pumping systems also work. So I think, each city has their own peculiarities. I know Lagos State always uses the image of Lagos, the city of aquatic splendor, which I really like, but maybe there's a little bit too much aquatic lately. So it's a matter of continuation. Why is it that after all these decades, that when people clean gutters, they pour everything next to the road and then wait for somebody else to pick it up, who never shows up, or who shows up when it's too late and when everything has been washed back into the gutter? It's either done on purpose, and then it requires serious investigation, or I don't know. This cannot be incompetence, because how difficult is it to pick up rubbish? But yeah, simple things like that. But we can all learn from each other, because I'm sure the city of Amsterdam can come to Lagos and learn a few things here too, definitely.
Thank you. So a few rapid questions. When you think about Nigeria, what's the first word that comes to mind?
People.
People?
Yeah.
Okay. What Nigeria heartbeat would you miss the most?
Nigeria heartbeat?
What Nigeria habit?
Habit.
Nigeria?
The directness. The straight in your face answer, because that's slowly but surely I grew into that.
What Nigerian food have you grown to love?
Moi moi.
Moi.
And pepper soup.
Moi moi and pepper soup. What do you love the most in Nigeria?
The New Africa Shrine.
Which Nigerian value do you wish more of the world would know about?
Boldness. Yeah, I don't know if that's a value, but but yeah, this this attitude of I can take on the world. Yeah. I think people in the West are sometimes too complacent.
Thank you. And the final one, if you will leave one message for young Nigerians, what would it be?
Don't give up. Don't give up. It will not be perfect. It will not be. Things take time, but in the end, this is Nigeria, and it's a wonderful country.
Thank you so much, Consul General. And as you go to become ambassador for Malaysia, we wish you well. We thank you for your service in Nigeria. We have a very small plaque to present to you, just to say thank you for your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow.
Okay, on behalf of the Wole Soyinka Centre for Investigative Journalism, and the Nigerian community of journalists, news media organizations, democracy groups, and civil society organizations. We just want to say thank you to you for your support for our work and for your time in Nigeria and always being available. I remember many times Deelen, I'll text you and say, oh, this event, will you be able to come? And say, oh, I've checked my calendar, I'll be there. And it's always such a joy to have you around. Thank you so much.